I'm Brandy, and today I'm going to be showing you the ARCs that I got from NCTE's National Convention in November of last year. It's taken me a while to get the video going, but that's okay because you are going to love the amount of books that they give away at this conference. As a reminder, NCTE stands for the National Council of Teachers of English. And so all of the big publishing companies are there. It's amazing! So let's jump right into it. One of the ones I got, this is from the Little Brown Company. They gave away a lot of ARCs, you guys. This is Code Girls, the true story of the American women who secretly broke codes in World War II. And it's the Young Readers edition. So I'm super excited that they have this accessible for younger students. And this one came out in October of 2018. Little Brown was giving away a lot of their ARCs of the books that they had just released. So it was really neat. You'll see a couple of those here. I also got The Whispers that I saw a lot of people chatting about. It came out in January of this year, and basically it's talking about, it's kind of like Bridge of Terabithia and even comparable to Snicker of Magic. This is with Penguin Kids, and so it's a middle grade debut. 11-year-old Riley's mother is missing. With the police investigation stalled, Riley fears he's somehow become the prime suspect in her disappearance. Yes, so sounds good. Bloomsbury had a copy of This Promise of Change, One Girl's Story in the Fight for School Equality. This looks to be about a it's middle grade nonfiction. It came out in January this year, and it talks about it being 1956, a year before the integration of Central High School in Little Rock. 14-year-old Joanne Allen made history when she and 11 other black students in Clinton, Tennessee integrated a public high school. So a great diverse read. So this book is actually told in verse, which is super hot right now, so this is great, a great way to integrate multiple genres in your classroom. Oh, I also got a copy of The Gilded Wolves, and this is just a great novel. Roshani Chokshi, I'm gonna have to edit that. She also did the Star Touch Queen, The Crown of Wishes, and Star Touch Story, so now she's back with a new set. When this came out in January, yes, people were raving about it, so they had a great campaign. It is fantasy, and I'm super excited to get to it soon. I use the term soon differently than some others. I also got a copy of She Dared that came out in January as well. I believe the Scholastic Publishers, they had an amazing setup. And so I am so excited that I have this and that I get to bring this into my school. I got an advanced copy of Lamar Guile's Spin. This is a really interesting sound. I actually got to meet Lamar Guile, so he did sign it for me, woohoo. And this is Love, Death, and Hip Hop. When rising star Paris II, aka DJ Parsick, is found dead on her turntables, it sends the local music scene reeling. No one is feeling that grief more than her shunned pre-fame boyfriend So no one is feeling that grief more than her shunned pre-fame best friend Kyra and Parsick's chief groupie Fuse, two sworn enemies who happen to be the ones who discovered her body. This has gotten a lot of attention, great diverse character. I got a copy of Mac Barnett's, he has Mac B. Kid Spy. This is The Impossible Crime. This is a middle grade and graphic novel that integrates some social studies as well, so I've heard some really good things. I was excited to see his book come out. It came out in December of last year, got some good attention. He's a great writer and really in tune to the whole publishing writing scene. So he's at a lot of conferences, does book events, a great author to be in touch with. I got a copy of Mo Willems' I Lost My Tooth. This came out in October, so right before the conference. I thought it hadn't come out yet, but if you don't know what Mo Willems, then you don't know good kid books. He is a amazingly funny author, and all of his books are priceless. I got the story web. So the story web actually doesn't come out till June 4th, and I still have not read it, but some of the people that I follow, like in the Nerdy Book Club, who've already read it, are giving it 5 stars, so I'm super excited about that. In this heartfelt, magical, instant classic, Megan Blakemore shows how the truths we tell can change the world. So when Alice was little, she found a gigantic spider web deep in the forest. Her dad called it the story web and told her how its strands were woven from the stories that hold our world together. So again, I'm excited to get to this soon. I did get to meet Renee Watson again and got my early copy of Watch Us Rise. Unfortunately, I was not able to get to it before it came out, but I did get to see her again, so that was really neat. It's Renee, so it's got to have some poetry in here somewhere. It does have a few different, it's got some poems in there. So Jasmine and Chelsea are best friends on a mission. They're sick of the way women are treated even at their progressive New York City high school, so they decide to start a women's rights club. So yes, my kind of book. Perfect diverse read. I wasn't sure I picked up the right book, but I'm so excited I did. This is Sayatani Dasgupta's second book in the Kingdom Beyond series. So I'm super excited to have this. This says Scholastic. I really was thinking I picked it up at the Disney Hyperion spot, but who knows? That week was so crazy, you guys. I got the first book at the Scholastic Book Fair earlier this year, so I'm excited to have the second one in the series again. This is a great kind of middle grade YA piece. It's a great way to diversify your classroom library as well. While I was at the HarperCollins tent, I was trying to inline with another author and found that they had a few extra advanced reading copies of Swing, so I picked one up. Kwame's books are mostly in lyrics form, and so all of his books are just amazing. This one he wrote with Mary Rand Hess. Says things don't usually go well for 17-year-old Noah. He and his best friend Walt, aka Swing, have been cut from the baseball team again, and Noah's crush Sam has him in the best friend zone. Noah would love to retire his bat and move on, but Walt has big plans for them both to make a baseball comeback, get the girl, and finally find cool. So a great book for a high school classroom and probably upper middle school. I picked up an extra copy. I actually bought the hardcover of this at the Little Brown Publishers booth, but I got one as a giveaway. So Winnie's Great War tells the story of the actual Winnie the Pooh when the soldier, Captain Harry Colburn, actually picked up a black bear in World War II and brought him to the zoo. And so I have heard wonderful things about this book. I believe Sophie Blackall won a bunch of book awards through this. Oh, I'm excited that I got a copy of The Reckless Girls. This says Jessie Burton of The Miniaturist offers her debut middle grade, a reimagining of the 12 Dancing Princesses. So I am excited to get into this. It came out in March 5th, so I have got a lot of reading to do this summer. I also got a copy of Tony Abbott's The Great Jeff. He wrote Fire Girl, which I really liked. It says life hasn't been great for Jeff Hicks. After years at his beloved St. Catherine's, he's forced to spend 8th grade in the public middle school, which he hates. So I'm hoping that this book addressed the stigma of public school, because I work for a public school. I got The Stormkeeper's Island, which came out in February as well. This is Catherine Doyle. It's middle grade, an evocative tale of ancient magic and family bonds for fans of Beyond the Bright Sea and Orphan Island, which are 2 amazing books. And look at that cover. How could I not be excited? So again, another great book for the classroom. A Drop of Hope. This came out in February as well. It says a well, a wish, and a little drop of hope. Times are tough, jobs are scarce, and miracles are in short supply. But 6th grader Ernest Wilmette thinks he can help. Ryan Hardy thinks Ernest should mind his own business, and Lizzie McComber believes in facts, not Ernest's fairy tales. So a great piece, again, for the middle classroom. Let's see, 6th grade. So I think this is going to be a good one. The chapters are like not specific, which is kind of nice. They're kind of, they have like different subheadings in there in the chapter title, so that's pretty cool. I love one of the new TEKs, or one of the new standards in Texas, is about author's craft and why they make choices. So I love to find books that have a little difference to them, because then you can really have those great conversations. I got Klawde, the evil alien warlord cat. What kid would not want to read that? And then what I liked about it as well is Raj is his best friend, so you've got some representation in that book. And then again, just a great middle grade. It's got some cool pictures in there that reminds me of like the Lunch Lady series. So great to have in the classroom. The great Louweezie. Look at how they spelled Luigi. Love it. This is from Penguin. Arnold is a big bear. Louise is a chatty chipmunk. Arnold and Louise are best friends. One day, Louise announces that she is actually the great Louweezie. She claims she can predict the future, but Arnold isn't so sure about that. I did see this in Scholastic as well. So a great little beginning chapter book for a great classroom to have. All things that could go wrong. Again, this was at the little brown table at the end of the conference. It says Alex's OCD is so severe that it's difficult for him to even leave his house. His classmate Dan is so angry that he lashes out at the easiest target he can find at school, Alex. I love books that are tackling some of those mental health issues that kids are facing. Remember, kids have access to a lot more information than we do. They are woke, friends, and so providing them books that give them insight to that is great. Also sounds like it touches on some bullying as well, and even says there are 2 sides to every story. So what can happen when 2 completely different boys are forced to put aside their differences and discover what connects us all. So very neat. Got a copy of 96 Words for Love. Kim Kardashian West is who gives this book. And then Deepak Chopra is why I picked it up. Also has the cover. So I was like, what? Who could this be? They also have a quote from Nisha Sharma, who wrote My So-Called Bollywood Life. Some more representation here. It says a modern retelling of Shakuntala and Dushyanta, the greatest story of star-crossed lovers from Indian mythology. Ooh, I love that representation. And y'all, you can't beat the cover. Beautiful. Some of the books that I need to review this month are The Absence of Sparrows. This comes out this month. It says, in the small town of Griever's Mill, 11-year-old Ben Cameron is expecting to finish off a summer of relaxing and bird watching without a hitch, but everything goes wrong when dark clouds roll in. Stranger Things meets Alfred Hitchcock in this haunting coming-of-age novel about a plague that brings the world to a halt. Ooh, y'all, that sounds good. And it sounds like it would really capture some of our readers, so ages 8 to 12. Jada Sly, Artisan Spy. I love how we have a lot of mysteries these days with some really great representation as well. So this is another middle grade. It looks like when she isn't studying the art from her idols like Jackie Orms, the first known African-American cartoonist, she's chronicling her spy training and other observations in her art journal. This takes place in New York City, but she also lived in France for 5 years. So, neat book, especially if you're in New York City. Also coming out this month is Emilia Westlake Was Never Here. A fiercely funny queer romantic comedy about 2 girls who can't stand each other, but join forces in a grand feminist hoax to expose harassment and inequality at their elite private school. Great representation, a YA book. Also got the second in the series of the Poplar Lane. So here's one about the president. So great integration of social studies as well. But middle grade from Penguin. I got to read WeirDo and gave this a review. This came from Scholastic, and this is a Vietnamese representation. Kind of reminds me of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but with, I don't know, I liked the sophistication of the humor. Weir is the first name of this boy, and Do is his last name, as they are a Vietnamese American family. So great representation here and very funny. I'm actually currently reading Summer of a Thousand Pies. This is really neat, about a girl whose father has an addiction and is off either in rehab or in jail. They haven't told us yet. So she goes to live with her aunt, and she is overcoming, really, it feels like mental illness a bit, but really just that coming of age when your family is somewhat unstable, and how to let other people in. It's really neat as an aunt and as a person who has different people in their life with foster children. This is really powerful. So I'm really enjoying this right now. I also am enjoying Kazu Jones and the Denver Dognappers. Basically, there is a dognapper, serial dognapper, and Kazu Jones is has some Japanese culture, or is Japanese, and so there's some neat Japanese words in here that they don't even define what they are, but you can use Google Translate or Google, but it is really fun, and she's a great character. So I'm not that far in, if you can tell, but I really do like it and am excited to finish sometime this month. And then I didn't get too far, but this is You Must Not Miss. I really like the cover. It reminds me of some of the other kind of cool covers coming out that I've seen. And it says for fans of One of Us is Lying, and then Carrie. I don't like Carrie, but I did like One of Us is Lying. I went into chapter 1 though, and there was some sexually explicit pieces. I didn't like the wording they even used. It says 12 and up. I'm not sure I'd be comfortable with my 12 or 13-year-old reading this quite yet. It just, you know, certain words they use. She catches her father having intercourse with her aunt. And so it's, I don't know. I was kind of hoping, I think, maybe it'd be better for the YA scene. It just kind of shocked me, and I was like, ooh, no. But as a child of parents who divorced and who had to face their parents with infidelity, there is a spot for it. I'm not sure I would go this heavy into it again in chapter 1, so I don't know. You guys, did you see all those books? It was amazing, and this is just one conference. I'm hoping to get to a few more literacy conferences. Now I know how amazing the exhibit halls are, though. I am kind of addicted to going to that area and kind of interacting with the authors. A lot of these were signed by the author because they brought them in, and were having librarians and teachers read them so that they could then get their schools to purchase them for their libraries and their classrooms. So again, it was an amazing experience, and I am so excited I got to go. And yeah, if you guys have any suggestions or comments, I would love to see them. Make sure you click subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!